What you're looking at was once considered one of the most beautiful muscle cars ever built. Today, it's barely recognizable as a car at all. This 1969 Camaro SS has been rotting in a field for over 2 decades, and most people would call it scrap metal. But we're about to prove them wrong. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today we're taking on what might be our most ambitious restoration yet. This 69 Camaro SS is going from rust bucket to road warrior, and you're going to witness every step of this incredible transformation. If you're new here, we specialize in bringing automotive legends back from the dead, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you won't want to miss a single episode of this build. The discovery. 3 weeks ago, I got a call from a Montana farmer about something in his back field. When he sent these photos, I wasn't sure if it was even worth the trip. This 1969 Camaro SS has been sitting in a wheat field since 1998. The owner parked it there after the engine seized, planning to fix it someday. That someday turned into 25 years. The damage is extensive. Rust holes you could put your fist through, floors that are more air than metal, and an interior that's been home to generations of field mice. The original rally green paint is buried under surface rust, and that SS hood has more dents than a golf ball. But here's why this car is worth saving. The VIN confirms it's a genuine SS with the L78396 engine option, one of only 34,932 built that year. The frame is solid, and those SS badges are still readable under the rust. Initial teardown. First step, complete teardown. The car barely made it off the trailer, so we need to strip everything down to see what we're really working with. The original 396 is seized solid. Sitting water and time have turned the cylinders into rust welding chambers. But a complete engine rebuild was always planned, so this just confirms what we expected. The turbo Hydra-Matic 400 transmission turns over freely. Good news. The rear end appears to be the original 12-bolt Posey unit. The interior is a disaster zone with silver linings. Original black vinyl bucket seats are beyond saving, but the frames are solid. The dash pad is cracked, but the gauge cluster is complete with the original AM/FM radio still there. Under the rear seat, we found the original build sheet. Our Camaro rolled off the Norwood, Ohio assembly line in March 1969, equipped with the L78396, M21 4-speed, and Rally Sport package. This was a fully loaded muscle car that originally sold for about $3,500. Engine rebuild. Now for the heart of any muscle car restoration, the engine. The L78396 was Chevrolet's answer to the horsepower wars, and we're bringing this one back to life. Getting the seized engine out requires penetrating oil, heat, and patience. On the stand, every cylinder is seized, but as we tear into it, we discover its history. The pistons are .030 over, meaning this engine was rebuilt once before, probably in the 80s. The block gets a complete overhaul at our machine shop, boring the cylinders 0.040 over, installing new pistons, and completely rebuilding the rotating assembly. This engine originally made 375 horsepower, but when we're done, it'll push closer to 425. We're using modern improvements, forged pistons instead of cast, a hydraulic roller camshaft for more power and longevity, and upgrading to an HEI distributor for better reliability. The original Quadrajet gets a complete rebuild with modern components. Assembly is methodical. Every bolt torqued to specification, every clearance double-checked. The moment of truth, first fire. 3 turns of the key and that's 396 cubic inches of American muscle breathing again after a quarter century. Perfect oil pressure, smooth idle. This engine will outlast the original. Bodywork and paint. While the engine was being rebuilt, we tackled the body. Rust repair on a car this far gone is part surgery, part sculpture. The rear quarters are Swiss cheese, floor pans completely gone in places, and structural rust damage around the rear window. We're replacing about 40% of the sheet metal, but the central frame rails are solid. GM built these to last. We're using AMD reproduction sheet metal, thicker steel and better corrosion protection than original. The welding process recreates the car's original structure, with every joint properly welded to last another 50 years. Paint prep means wet sanding from 320 to 800 grit for perfect smoothness. The owner wanted something more dramatic than the original Rally Green, so we chose Midnight Blue Metallic, a modern base coat/clear coat system that captures what a 69 SS would be if built today. When the masking comes off, it's emotional. This Rust Hulk now looks showroom fresh. The reflection of shop lights in that mirror finish tells the story. This car has been reborn. Interior restoration. While the paint was curing, we've been working on bringing the interior back to life. The original black vinyl wasn't salvageable, but we found an exact reproduction from a company that specializes in classic Camaro interiors. The seat frames were sandblasted and powder-coated, then rebuilt with new springs and padding. The new covers are actually higher quality than the originals, thicker vinyl, better stitching, and improved wear characteristics. The dashboard required special attention. The original pad was cracked and faded, but finding a replacement for a '69 Camaro isn't easy. We ended up having ours professionally restored. The cracks filled, the surface retextured, and the color matched to the original black. The original gauge cluster tells a story. 127,000 miles on the odometer, which is actually low for a 54-year-old car. We've had all the gauges rebuilt and calibrated and installed modern LED bulbs for better visibility and reliability. The new carpet is a mass-backed reproduction that fits perfectly and looks exactly like the original. Installing it properly requires patience. Every contour of the floor pan needs to be followed precisely, and all the mounting points need to line up perfectly. The little details make all the difference. New door panels with the correct grain pattern, reproduction sill plates with the Camaro script, a new headliner that transforms the interior space. Even the windshield washer bag gets replaced, because if you're going to do a restoration, you do it right. Final assembly. Now comes the most exciting part, putting it all together. The painted body, the rebuilt engine, the restored interior, all coming together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Dropping the engine back in is always a moment of truth. Will everything line up? Are all the measurements correct? The engine slides in perfectly, the transmission mates up without drama, and suddenly we have a car again instead of a collection of parts. We're upgrading the suspension with modern components that maintain the original appearance but improve performance. New shocks, springs, and bushings throughout. The original rally wheels have been restored and fitted with modern radial tires, a compromise between authenticity and drivability. The exhaust system deserves special mention. We're using a reproduction of the original L78 exhaust manifolds, but with a modern dual exhaust system that gives this car the sound it deserves. The rumble of a 396 through properly tuned exhaust pipes is one of the great sounds of the automotive world. The final details are what separate a good restoration from a great one. Correct hose clamps, proper decals, even the right style of battery. We've researched every component to ensure it's period correct and properly installed. When we roll the car out of the shop for the first time under its own power, it's a moment that never gets old. This pile of rust has been transformed into a machine that looks like it just rolled off the assembly line in 1969, except better. The reveal. So here it is, our 1969 Camaro SS, completely transformed from rust bucket to roadster. Let's talk numbers. We've put over 400 hours of labor into this build, used approximately $35,000 in parts and materials, and traveled over 20,000 miles sourcing components and materials. But look at what we've accomplished. This isn't just a restored car, it's a piece of American automotive history brought back to life. Every surface is perfect, every component is better than original, and every detail is exactly as it should be. The numbers speak for themselves. 425 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque, and a quarter-mile time that would embarrass most modern sports cars. This isn't just a show car, it's a machine built to be driven and enjoyed. The real test comes on the road. The engine pulls smoothly from idle to redline, the transmission shifts perfectly, and the exhaust note is pure muscle car symphony. This car doesn't just look like a '69 SS, it drives like one too, only better. The best part of any restoration is seeing the owner's reaction. When someone sees their dream car brought back to life, it reminds you why we do this work. Cars like this aren't just transportation. They're rolling pieces of art, engineering marvels, and cultural icons all wrapped up in steel and chrome. This 1969 Camaro SS started as scrap metal and ended as a masterpiece. It's proof that with enough skill, patience, and dedication, even the most hopeless project can be saved. What did you think of this build? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more impossible restorations like this one. Next week, we're starting work on a project that might be even more challenging, a 1970 Plymouth Cuda that's been sitting underwater for 5 years. Until then, keep wrenching, and remember, there's no such thing as too far gone, only not enough determination. Not enough determination.